I'm Megan,
I am Rebecca.
and you're watching the Buzz Artist Spotlight.
I know you and you can live without me, but when we come together, I know we're better. I know you and you can find your own way, but when we fight it together, I know it's better. Every time we fight in a hotel room, stubborn love keeps pulling us on through. So many ways that I could say I love you, I don't want to. So many ways.
We got our start in music very early. We played classical violin at the ages of 3 and 4 years old, and then later on we got into more like rootsy music with some Americana, and then it's kind of developed from there.
Yeah, our dad played us a bunch of classic rock records when we were growing up, so we feel like that's finally starting to come out in our sound. We call it roots rock and roll. You know, I would say our family has been really supportive of what we've chosen to do. Both of our folks are actually doctors, so I think it's a little bit of a surprise that we two have ended up being professional musicians and touring now for like over a decade on the road.
But we're lucky in that they have really great taste in music, so they played us a lot of great music growing up.
And they like what we do, luckily. They think that we make good music too, so it's a win-win. It's the fact that we didn't become doctors, I think we can chalk clearly onto our folks' influence in terms of having played us a bunch of good music, most definitely. So our current record is called Reskinned. It's actually going to be released April 15th here in the U.S. It's been released over in Europe, and it's been receiving a lot of really positive reviews. People are liking it, so we're really excited to have it come out here in the U.S. and tour in support of it, and also release a music video for the single Trouble in Mind.
It's interesting touring overseas because I think they really like American music, and especially Americans playing American music. So in that way, we've really gotten a lot of supportive fans in the UK and Europe specifically.
Yeah, we've been touring over in Europe and the UK now for 6-7 years.
Yeah.
So it's really fun to feel like you have a second home away from home, really, to go and play music internationally and receive that same love and support. I think given the current climate in the music industry, I think, you know, technological advances in terms of moving away from vinyl into CDs into now a lot of downloads, I think it cuts in favor and against an artist. I think that if you're willing to think outside the box as an artist and really engage with your fans and be proactive, you can have a lot more control over your career. But I think it also cuts the same way in that it's a lot harder to make a dollar doing what we do nowadays. It requires a lot of touring and, again, a lot of work that you wouldn't necessarily consider to be like the job of the artist. You know, you really have to give it your all.
But with so much social, you know, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the Twitters, like we can so personally connect with the individual. It's a really special thing that, you know, is fairly recent.
Oh yeah, it's one of our favorite things. I would say we're very active on the interwebs. I wake up in the morning and Twitter, it's like the least. I don't quite get Twitter as much because I'm a very wordy person, so trying to like parse down my sentences is challenging. But I get on it in the morning and I see all the people that will tweet us during the night or after shows or just tweet us random funny stuff. Like, it's really, really sweet.
It's heartwarming completely. Yeah. A typical Larkin Poe show
rock
is
and roll.
Very rock and roll, full of energy, and I think people can expect to see a lot of our sister dynamic coming out. A lot of people enjoy that with our shows. They like to see that sibling, you know, connection.
Well, we enjoy that connection too on stage. It again, like in terms of cutting for and against, our sister thing goes both ways. It can be like the best thing of the world, or it can be really difficult to manage.
You can't help but have some sibling rivalry. I think a lot of people wonder how can we tour and do this? I can't really imagine doing that with their sibling. And we do fight a lot.
We do fight. Right now, so we're currently on a tour where we're actually traveling in a sedan. Like we're touring as a duo for this. We packed all of our gear in the back.
Rock and roll 4-door.
Rock and roll 4-door, and we're like literally a foot apart in the car, and one of us is driving at all times. And so we definitely have been fighting a bit more because you're human. Like when you're tired and you're grouchy, you're bound to fight more. And I think sometimes it can affect our art, but if it didn't, that would be unnatural because we both are very passionate about what we do, and we're very real in what we do. It's not like we step into character, like we're just kind of ourselves on stage. So like learning how to be respectful of each other and be very conscientious and try at all times to really maintain that dynamic so that it's like, woohoo, sparkle and pixie dust and awesomeness. That's our goal. We've put in a lot of time, and we've had to be put in a lot of situations where we're uncomfortable. Frankly, you know, traveling, being put in situations where you don't feel like you can make it, and always your body pulls you through. And I think the love of our art has really drug us on this path. Like regardless of whether or not it's easy or if it's instant success, we love what we do, so therefore we're willing to put in the time. And so I think that attitude for us, the fact that we actually really need to make art, we need to write songs, need to play guitars, that means that when it becomes easier, like when we are able to maybe travel in a tour bus, hopefully play in like arenas and stadiums and have crew to help us create our dreams, I think we'll be ready for it. I think that it's paying your dues, man.
We've been so lucky to be able to say after each year this was our biggest year yet, and we're on track to be able to say 2016 was our biggest year yet. With our new album, we've got new management. Universal just picked up our album, so we've got a lot of things going on for us, and we're going to be playing some big festivals this year.
Yeah,
so we're really excited.
We got booked at Glastonbury this year, and Great Escape, and Rock am Ring, and Rock am Park in Germany, which are two like the biggest. Like we're on the bill with freaking Black Sabbath. Like we're really stoked. It's gonna be amazing.
I'm Megan.
I'm Rebecca.
And we're Larkin Poe.
You've just been buzzed.